Hi, I'm Avery and this is my channel, That's So Avery. In today's video, I am going to be sharing everything I made in the month of October. This month I made 2 dresses, 1 jacket, a shirt, 2 pairs of pants, and a skirt. So a very, very productive month again. And some really fun fall pieces that I can't wait to show you. So the first thing that I will show is actually the shirt I'm wearing. This is the Logan Shacket by Stylearc, and I did some sunflower buttons. They feel like metal, but I think they're plastic, but they go really nicely with the fabric. I initially wanted to find some pumpkin buttons, but I wasn't able to find those. So I went with these. I got these at Hobby Lobby. They have really good prices on their buttons. And it does have 2 oversized front pockets, but I think they kind of get lost in the pattern. And I'm trying to remember what happened with the collar stand. Either I messed up and I had to recut it, or I just didn't have enough fabric, but it is out of a lightweight denim. And I like the contrast. I like the way that turned out. The sleeves don't have a cuff or anything, so you can just roll them up or wear them down. And yeah, overall, I just really love this shirt. I was able to wear it to the pumpkin patch, which was my main motivation for making this one. So I was very happy about that. I got it done the night before we went to the pumpkin patch. And yeah, it was great. It was a great time. I would highly recommend this pattern. It's fairly easy, and you can do, if you do it in your measurements, the size that correlates with your measurements, you will get a nice baggy oversized shirt. And I'm picturing this in a lot of different fabrics. You could dress it up, dress it down. I just think it's a great staple to have in your wardrobe, so I would highly recommend this pattern. Next, I will show you my dresses. I'm so happy with both of these dresses. If I would have seen these in a store, I would have bought them right away, so that's always a good sign. This is the Faye blouse by Tammy Handmade, and I just lengthened it into a dress, and here it is. It's in a 100% linen fabric that I got from Cali Fabrics, and I know a lot of people don't like to sew with linen in the colder months because it's not the warmest fabric, but I thought the colors were perfect for fall, and I can always layer it and make it last me through the winter. And this is how she looks. I'll put a picture of me wearing it, just regular tortoiseshell buttons, and I did try to pattern match. Very happy with how this one turned out. And then the next one is the Harvest Moon dress. I made one of these last month, and I made this one in the fabric that I had wanted to make it in the beginning, but I twirled it in cotton fabric first to get the pattern down, and I made it in this gorgeous fall fabric. I'll show you. I did covered buttons on this one, and it does have a drawstring waist, the long sleeve with elastic, and I can't show you all the way to the bottom, but what I did for both versions is this pattern has a midi length or a mini length and then the long gathered length. And so I did the skirt of the mini length, which is the longer portion here, and then I just did the ruffle on the bottom. And when I did my last version, I didn't quite like the length of it, and I'm actually going to go back and add one more gathered panel on the bottom. But so for this one, I just added a couple inches to each of the 2 tiers, and it turned out the perfect length, and that's what I'm going to do going forward. But I love the way this one turned out. I think this is going to be my Thanksgiving Day dress that I'm going to wear this year. So I'm very happy with that one. The colors in it are so beautiful. And then I'll show you my pants that I made. I made a pair of Falconer pants in this stretch, twill maybe. I'm not that good with fabrics and I could go back and look, but I'm too lazy right now. But this is a floral fabric from Mood. Beautiful colors. I just did a jean button. And you'll notice on a lot of the pants that I make, if they call for button loops, I usually don't put the button loops on. I mean, belt loops, just because my machine doesn't do great going over really thick layers like that. And I know it'd be too much of a headache and I would just get very frustrated. And I don't wear belts that often anyways, so I omitted the belt loops. But yeah, I love the way these came out. The panel that's on the side, there's a side panel here with a pocket, and on that panel it kind of goes like this to create that barrel leg shape, and I just kind of straightened it out just ever so slightly so it wasn't as ballooned out, like right around the knee area. So I straightened that out, and I'm very happy with how these turned out. Oops. Very happy with how they turned out. I just did like a brown color zipper. And the only problem I have with these pants is I'm pretty sure the pattern calls for non-stretch, and I did use a stretch. And this fabric stretches out as you wear them, so by the end of the day they're very baggy. But I picture myself wearing these in the winter with some like fleece lined leggings anyways. So they're perfect for that. And if you watch my videos a lot, you'll notice some main colors that I always tend to wear are olive green and like a burgundy color. So these do have that burgundy in them. And I have a lot of tops that are that color. So I have a lot of different options when it comes to styling for those pants. And my next pair are the SydGrahamPatterns pants, which everyone by now should have heard about. And I did them in this linen cotton blend that I got from Joann when they were closing. I love this fabric so much. And I love the detail of the cargo pocket. That's what made me buy this pattern. It looks very cool. I'll put a picture of me wearing them. And then there's the option to do a drawstring, but I always do that because my weight fluctuates, so I like to be able to cinch it in when I want to, and then let it out a little bit when I want to. So that is, oh, and on these, I'm 5'8", so a lot of times on pants, I just have this fear from growing up of wearing high water, so I always lengthen pants patterns when I make them for the first time. And I did that with these. I actually lengthened them quite a bit, and I was scared they wouldn't be long enough, so I actually did a hem facing. And turns out I did not need to do that because these were already probably going to be long enough. So now they're extra, extra long, but I'm going to leave them as is for now, and I can always take more length off if they start dragging on the ground and getting tore up. And that pattern is definitely going to be a staple, and I'm going to make a lot more pairs of those. I have a lot of fabric in my closet right now that I can picture a pair in. So for the fall, winter, summer, spring, I will be having a couple pair of lane pants on rotation. Then the next project, I really wanted to make a simplicity knit dress pattern, and I spoke about it on my plans video. and I tried to make the pattern, but I think the problem was my fabric that I was going to use was just way too drapey and slinky for that pattern, so it kind of didn't hold the shape. I'll put a picture of the pattern here, and it has like a cutout detail in the front, and that just was not holding its shape with this fabric. So instead of, oh, and also it called for a zipper, which that might have been the first time I ever tried to put a zipper in knit fabric, and as thin and drapey as this fabric was, it just didn't go well. I had a little bit of a hunchback going on. So instead of trying to fix it and make it work, I just knew that wasn't going to be possible, because you can't really unpick a zipper on this type of fabric without messing up your fabric. So I chopped it off and made it into a skirt. And I'll put a video of me wearing this, but I actually am so happy with how it turned out. I love a skirt like this. It reminds me of skirts that I would wear in middle school in the like 2000s, early 2000s. And I styled it the other day with tights, boots, and a black sweater, and I just felt so cool in it, and I love the colors. Like I said, I've shown this fabric before, but it's got gold flecks in it. Oh, the other problem that I had with this fabric, I think the main issue that I had was these gold flecks. You can't iron those, so it's hard to put in a zipper and do things like that when you literally can't iron it. I tried a pressing cloth and it just kind of melted to it. It was awful. So yeah, I would have liked to have that dress in it, but I actually think I'm going to get more wear of it as a skirt. So another happy accident. The last thing I want to show you is something I'm very proud of. I have been looking for a long time for a quilt to make a quilted jacket. I've seen a lot of really cool ones on Instagram and stuff, and I just wanted to make one, and I finally found one in the colors that would suit me and would suit the season. And here she is. Oops. Now I love the way this one turned out. I love the colors. I reused the original quilt binding, so I just seam ripped it off and ironed it back out flat and rolled it up, and then I used that for all of my binded edges. And then I also, for this pattern, or for this project, I used my tabletop snap or multi-use press that I got, and that was my first time using it, and I did not, I just kind of winged it. And the problem that I have is I didn't mark my positioning for my snaps at the same time, so they kind of threw off my pattern match a little bit. Let me see. It was, you can tell, it was perfectly pattern matched along the front, not the pockets, but all the front, and the snaps just threw it off just a little bit, but I'm happy with how it turned out. The colors are beautiful. It's just oversized enough to fit like a thick sweater and stuff underneath, so it is perfect. And that I can't remember what that pattern was, but I'll put a picture of all the patterns for all of these, and I'll put them down in the description box below. But yeah, that's my October sewing, and we are 5 days into November, and I've got one dress made already. The majority of that dress was made in October, but since I finished it in November, I'm gonna save that for next month's video. I hope you enjoyed this video and seeing everything I made in the month of October. Like and subscribe, and I will be back next month to show you everything I made in November. Bye!